Coming up on WFT Midday, President Trump is halting all trade with Canada. Why he's doing it? He says it all started with an advertisement.
Plus, the government shutdown is impacting people right here in Gainesville. Our team lets you know how food pantries are being affected and how you can help.
And first responders across Florida are coming together to honor their fallen brothers and sisters. We'll tell you how they're doing it. WFT Midday starts now.
You're watching WUFT Midday.
You're taking a live look at the White House, where President Trump is deciding to cut trade with our nation's northern neighbors. President Trump says he's terminating all trade negotiations with Canada. Welcome to WFT Midday. I'm Victoria Perez.
And I'm Genesis Trujillo. 77% of Canada's exports go to the United States. That amounts to at least hundreds of billions of dollars, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. The United States' top imports from Canada include fuel, vehicles, electrical machinery, and more. That's according to the Observatory of Economic Complexity. NBC's Alice Barr reveals what the president's decision means for you.
President Trump overnight calling off all trade negotiations with Canada over this Government of Ontario ad featuring former President Reagan saying high tariffs lead to retaliation and fierce trade wars.
Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs.
The president citing a statement from the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute accusing Ontario of using selective audio and video that misrepresents the 1987 address without asking permission to use and edit the remarks, noting the foundation is reviewing legal options. President Trump accusing Ontario of interfering with a looming Supreme Court case on the legality of his tariffs that he called very important to national security and the economy. That amid growing legal questions over the Trump administration's military strikes against alleged drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean Sea and Eastern Pacific Ocean.
The cartels are waging war on America, and just as I promised in the campaign, we're waging war on them.
The president now suggesting op on land, saying his administration will inform Congress about targeting drug runners on land, but stopped short of promising to seek authorization for military force for hearings on the strikes that have killed at least 37 people. The administration has not presented evidence there were drugs in all of the boats, though the president is adamant the strikes are legal and necessary to keep drugs out of the country. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Also in Washington, D.C., President Trump is preparing for a visit with the Chinese President Xi Jinping. The meeting is set for next Thursday in South Korea. In the meantime, U.S. and Chinese officials are set to convene for a fifth round of trade talks in Malaysia this weekend. Earlier this month, China ramped up its restrictions on rare earth minerals. They're essential for consumer electronics, cars, and semiconductors. In return, Trump vowed to impose an additional 100% tariff on any and all critical software from China starting next month.
We've got some cooler temperatures and mostly clear skies. Low temperatures from some of us dipped into the high 40s. UF forecaster Kennedy Lerner is live in the weather studio. Kennedy, this is just the beginning of more jacket weather we're expecting into next week.
Yes, definitely. We're feeling 49 degrees this morning. I hope you all had your jackets this morning, as it was chilly. 46 in Jacksonville, 46 in Stark as well. Really chilly weather. But coming up now, we're sitting at a comfortable 78 degrees in Gainesville, 73 in Stark, 76 in Ocala. So it did warm up throughout the day, and it will continue as we go into the evening. Our high temperature is only 82, which is more than yesterday, and it will continue throughout the week. 81 in Stark, 78 in Jacksonville. Low temperatures are looking very well tomorrow morning, not as low as usual, 58 in Gainesville, 56 in Stark, so it's going to increase from this morning. Not going to need as many layers, but still might want to bring some along. Coming up, we have some beautiful days ahead. We're going to take a look at Friday Night Lights forecast. The winds are going to pick up this weekend, and as always, we're going to take a look at the tropics.
The government shutdown is entering day 23, and Americans are feeling its impacts, including when it comes to food availability. Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits are being paused in Florida in November. Around 3 million Floridians benefit from SNAP, which also provides food stamps to Americans nationwide. WUFT's Crystal Felix reports on how food access is being impacted by the government shutdown right here in Gainesville.
In the third week of government shutdown, penny pinching is rising to an all-time high. And neighbors like Valerie Stevens and Christopher Clark are turning to food pantries in their time of need.
We're having issues with Social Security, and price of food is going up. So it makes it harder when you have 2 kids, 2 adults.
And as the pantries that Catholic Charities oversee, their calls are growing to help fill that need.
When there are people out there that do help you, it helps a lot. It goes a long ways.
Denise Fanning, Regional Director of the Charities Gainesville Bureau, says she's noticed an increase in larger families, elderly, and homeless people since the shutdown. And while there's food that's provided by federal agencies like the USDA.
We are very, very fortunate with the community that we live in. They are very responsive when we put out a need for any type of specific supplies or specific canned goods that we are looking for.
Fanning says you could bring in essentials like pasta, mac and cheese, and non-perishable canned goods. And these donations go directly to neighbors who walk through their doors, no questions asked.
Just know that when you come through our doors, it is to serve you, not for us to find out why you are in need.
Regardless of need, Andrew Davenport says the pantry is a safe place for all.
Maybe you're homeless and you need to charge your phone and drink some water and just have a spot in the AC for a little bit. You're more than welcome to come here.
That was Crystal Felix reporting. More details are emerging about the federal investigation into an alleged NBA sports betting ring. Authorities say the scheme involved more than just betting. It also may have involved cheating devices that use a poker table. Right now, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups are under arrest. Investigators say Billups is charged in a separate scheme for Rozier, including illegal poker games that took place in several cities. At a press conference, authorities used puns to mock the alleged scheme.
Your winning streak has ended. Your luck has run out. Violating the law is a losing proposition, and you can bet on that.
Law enforcement says that despite the arrest, the investigation is still ongoing.
Alaska Airlines flights are back in the air after an IT program left passengers stuck at airports nationwide. The airlines asked the Federal Aviation Administration for a full ground stop last night. Some passengers waited at the airport for hours just for their flights to be canceled. Meanwhile, hundreds of delays are also affecting people trying to fly. Alaska Airlines flies out of Florida's busiest airports, Tampa, Orlando, and Miami. The airlines has not said what caused the outage.
A pilot is walking away with minor injuries after a small plane crash near St. Augustine Airport. The sheriff's office says the 20-year-old student pilot was the only one on board when the plane crashed into a marsh Thursday. A battalion chief witnessed the crash and got on a kayak to rescue the pilot. Officials say she was completely alert, but taken to the hospital as a precaution. The Florida Highway Patrol will lead the investigation into the crash.
A new diesel and aviation's mechanics program takes off next week at Marion Technical College. Aspiring aviation maintenance workers can hone their craft at a new facility on campus. The programs can train up to 100 dual-enrolled high school and adult students. They can train with simulators and life-size aircrafts, including a passenger jet and helicopter. MTC launches the new program on October 30th with a ribbon cutting set for 9:30 a.m.
Ocala police are investigating a deadly hit-and-run crash. A pedestrian was hit near 3700 Northwest Bridgerton Road late last night. The eastbound lanes near the crash are closed. OPD is looking for the driver involved.
If you want to learn transferable skills for free, look no further. Home Depot is offering a free program to help get your hands dirty. The company calls it the Path to Pro program. According to Home Depot, nearly 40% of construction workers are projected to retire in the next decade. The program can teach you soft skills in general construction, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, painting, and more. You can visit a North Central Florida Home Depot to find out how you can apply. And if you saw a lot of police in the last hour, here's why.
Riders, are you ready? Ready!
The Gainesville Police Department gave an escort for the Brotherhood Ride. It brings police officers, firefighters, and other emergency response officers together to honor colleagues who died. There will be another Brotherhood Ride tomorrow at 8 a.m. in Jacksonville.
Gainesville leaders are looking for volunteers to help honor fallen veterans. They're asking them to place over 1,100 American flags on veterans' graves at Evergreen Cemetery. This is set to begin November 8th at 9 a.m. and end at 11 a.m. All neighbors are encouraged to join.
Tomorrow is National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. It encourages people to safely return unused or unwanted prescription medications. Drop-offs are available across North Central Florida on Saturday. In Gainesville, one location you can go to is the Senior Recreation Center on 34th Boulevard. The Levy County Sheriff's Office is hosting drop-offs in Bronson, Cedar Key, Williston, and other locations. There are more opportunities for more North Central Florida neighbors to participate too.
And when we're back, a final look at the weather, 78 degrees and looking good ahead.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
You're taking a live look at I-10 in Columbia County. Authorities are asking people to be careful when burning things outdoors. That's because of the low humidity we've seen this week. UF forecaster Kennedy Lerner is live in the weather studio. Kennedy, the fire risk shouldn't stick around too long with rain chances picking up this weekend.
Yes, that's correct. But looking right now, comfortable 78 degrees, really no clouds in the sky. Humidity 36, dew point 49, pretty on average for this time of year. We're hitting 78 degrees in Gainesville right now, 74 in Stark, 79 in Jacksonville. Great day to go outside, do homework, work, picnic, whatever you guys like. Just get outside while you can. We are seeing this great weather because of this high pressure that was sitting over the southeast. It now is moving more east out into the Atlantic, the cold front coming down below. But do not fret because we do have more high pressure up in the Midwest, and we do have this low pressure system coming in. We might get some rain chances like we said before in late Monday, but with that is more cold weather as we keep going into the later end of the week. Our dew points right now, 49 Gainesville, 56 in Stark. Pretty good, makes it feel just like it is outside. No humidity, however, back down 61, 63 in the lower part of Florida. That's when we start to feel that summer weather. High temperatures only 82, 81 in Stark. Very nice out. For our Friday night lights, great days for some football. 7 p.m., 73 degrees, clear kickoff, cool conditions as keep going. 63 at 11 p.m. Wind, not really of a worry right now, but as we move forward, we might see that. Low temperatures, not as cold as it used to be earlier in the week, only 58 in Gainesville. Here's what we were talking about with the wind. As we go into the weekend, we're going to see these wind gusts pick up. 30 in St. Augustine, 19 in Gainesville as we keep going through Saturday, 23 in Gainesville, 32 St. Augustine. Wind gusts coming from the east. Great day for a kite. Take your kids out. I'm going to go out, let's say, for some kite fun. 33 St. Augustine, going to come back down as we move into Sunday. Tracking tropics, we do have Melissa down south in Haiti. And Cuba, a little sporadic 45 miles an hour tropical storm weather. However, as we move forward, this could be our 13th hurricane of the season as it rapidly intensifies to a Category 4. Our cone area shows coming up to the north, pushing into the Atlantic. No real threats to Florida. A lot of rain for Cuba and Haiti, which could be detrimental. But like I said, no real threats to the Florida area. Our models do show it pushing out into the Atlantic because of the high pressure systems that we were talking about as that comes through and the cold front. So that's going to pick up Melissa and push it out. Looking at our 7-day forecast, we have some wonderful weather coming up. Like I said, some rain on Monday, but then cold weather Wednesday and Thursday. Another look at your 7-day forecast when we come back.
CPR can be the difference between life and death. The American Heart Association CPR guidelines are meant to help people respond in an emergency, and those recommendations were changed this week. In today's Health Minute, CNN's Mandy Gaither tells you about updated guidance that could save someone's life.
In an emergency, it's a set of life-saving recommendations that empower a person to take action when every second counts. This week, the American Heart Association released updated recommendations for CPR.
The best, most updated information is necessary to make sure that we save every life.
Dr. Ashish Panchal with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is one of the writers of the updated guidelines, which begin with new guidance on choking in conscious children and adults. It's now recommended that the patient receive alternating 5 back blows followed by 5 abdominal thrusts until the object is expelled or the person becomes unresponsive.
With infants, we do 5 back blows and 5 chest thrusts with the heel of your arm to relieve that foreign body. And this is the way that we could actually get them breathing again.
Every year in the U.S., about 350,000 people go into cardiac arrest outside of a hospital because acting quickly can mean the difference between life and death. The updated guidelines say CPR can effectively be taught to children 12 years and older. The guidelines also recommend support for more CPR training in the community.
Once somebody suddenly collapses for no apparent reason, call 911, push hard and fast. Even if you don't know what you're doing, the responder on the phone, that dispatch, will help you walk through this so that you can save this person's life.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The government shutdown is now in its 23rd day, making it one of the longest in U.S. history. It's impacting seemingly all aspects of life, including the dreams of many homebuyers. Lee Waldman reports on the possible impacts the shutdown could have on the housing market if it continues.
Of course, the government shut down. And so my lender got back in touch with me and she said, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to close until the USDA reopens.
Chase Franklin had everything set for his move from North Dakota to Kansas, including a U.S. Department of Agriculture-backed mortgage to buy a home. Now that plan has come to a screeching halt.
There was a full gamut of emotions. I mean, there was anger, there was frustration. I mean, there was like, why is this happening now?
He's not alone. Anthony Smith, a senior economist with Realtor.com, says homebuyers all over the U.S. are feeling the impact of the shutdown.
It will be a difficult position to be put in as a first-time homebuyer because that's going to be really one of the biggest cohorts that are going to be impacted by this.
Before the shutdown, the skyrocketing prices of homes brought the housing industry to a slowdown. But the first government shutdown in nearly 7 years is impacting both rural and urban areas.
The housing market was definitely somewhat frigid, and so this adds more chill to a situation that didn't need any more cooling off altogether.
The longer this shutdown stretches on, Smith says the greater impact it's going to have on the industry as a whole and the more uncertainty it will breed. As for Franklin, he's got a clear message to the lawmakers in D.C.
Recognize that the decisions you are making are impacting far more people than you realize, and that the decisions that you're making are also affecting voters who will remember this when it comes around to election season.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
Nike is testing a first-of-its-kind shoe designed to make people go faster and farther than ever. The company is unveiling what it calls Project Amplify. It's teaming up with a robotics company to create the world's first powered footwear system for running and walking. The new product isn't geared toward professional athletes. It's actually for average people who like to jog, run, or walk. The experimental footwear features a lightweight motor and rechargeable battery. The product is undergoing testing, and it's unclear when it might hit store shelves.
A southeastern supermarket chain is going through a rebrand that involves closing or selling its locations outside of Florida and Georgia. Winn-Dixie is changing its name to the Winn-Dixie Company. In the future, you may actually notice more Winn-Dixie stores in our area. The parent company of Winn-Dixie is bringing the store to Williston, Keystone Heights, and Alachua. The store in Williston will open in December, while the Keystone Heights and Alachua locations are set to open by summer of next year. The company will end up operating a little over 100 conventional grocery stores.
Target is planning to lay off around 1,000 corporate employees. The company is also announcing it won't fill 800 vacant positions. Target's incoming CEO made the announcement in an email to employees Thursday. These decisions impact about 8% of Target's global corporate workforce. It comes as Target is dealing with slumping sales and backlash after dialing back its DEI program earlier this year.
Coming up on WFT Midday, current and former Gator gymnasts are shining on the world stage.
Our sports team brings you the latest on their success in just a few minutes. Stay right here.
You're one of those people that's constantly adjusting the thermostat because you're scared of what it's going to do to your electric bill. Well, don't be scared to make a phone call to Crystal Air and Water.
OkitaAmerica.com.
I'm Brooke Bastedo with your Midday Sports Report. Florida Gymnastics returned to the world stage this week. The Gators sent Leanne Wong and Sky Blakely to compete in Jakarta, Indonesia. Blakely gave us insights into her goals ahead of her third trip to the World Finals.
Just to get back out there on the international stage, it's been 2 years. My last time on the international stage was my last Worlds. It's been a while. It's just getting comfortable, finding that confidence again, having fun, and really doing what I can to make a final.
Here's a look at one of the last times Blakely competed after a long recovery from a torn Achilles. Today, she not only made it to the finals, but also finished fourth in the uneven bars. Her teammate Leanne Wong won silver in the all-around. This weekend, Florida soccer is able to clinch a bid to the SEC tournament. The Gators are traveling to Baton Rouge to take on the LSU Tigers. In their regular season finale, Florida needs the win in order to guarantee a spot in the tournament. The Gators' last run at an SEC title was in 2021. Although this is a do-or-die game for the Gators, LSU has already secured its postseason bid. The two teams boast unbeaten streaks. Florida will need to end the Tigers' run. Kickoff is set for 3 p.m. on Sunday. At home for the Gators, softball takes on another weekend of fall ball. With 2 in-state competitors, Florida will look to continue its 3-game win streak. Tonight, Jacksonville University is coming to Presley Stadium. Last season, Florida beat the Dolphins twice in the regular season. The Gators hope to repeat their success starting tonight at 6 p.m. Closing out the weekend, Florida hosts Florida State in a rivalry game. After losing in a shutout last season, the Gators will rely on home field advantage against the Noles. First pitch is set for 2 p.m. on Sunday. Coming up on First at 5, we have a high school football preview and a look into the upcoming Gators basketball season. That's your Midday Sports Report. I'm Brooke Bastedo.
Now let's take a look on what's coming up on First at 5 at Channel 5. A cold front is coming in. NCR forecaster Aiden Waxman gave us the latest on our weekend. The classroom of Bronson Elementary's Teacher of the Year, how she is making a difference in her community, and how local high school athletes could see more playing time in the postseason. Tune in at 5 to get the playing time in the postseason. Tune in at 5 to get the details.